Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A couple of days ago I was scrolling through the streets of Instagram, and then I saw a couple of women sharing their story, their first trimester story. I could relate with some of the things they said, not all per se. And I was like, you know what, let me share my own first trimester story with you guys, and that's what this video is about. So if you still haven't subscribed, I have given you enough time to click the subscribe button, so just do it now. All right, thank you. I've just said a few things down, so I hope that I actually remembered everything that happened, and I'm just going to share what I jotted down with you guys. All right, let's get into the video. First, I found out pretty early, and it wasn't the typical throwing up, vomiting, spitting everywhere that I saw in the movies. It was just because first, I am a very sensitive person when it comes to my body. If something is changing about my body, I always know. In fact, it's so much that if I'm about to have malaria, I usually know. Even before I go for a test at the hospital, I always know that something is wrong with my body is about to break down. I just knew that things were off. I felt a little bit bloated, and it wasn't my period, because the way I usually know that, oh, this is period, I just knew that this one no be period, you know. And so when I realized that something was off about my body, I was just like, this thing is not normal. One night my husband went to work, I went to the pharmacy. Did he go to work or he went to Playboy? I think he went to Playboy, you know. Then I went to the pharmacy, bought pregnancy test, came back home. I told my husband I went to buy paracetamol. You know, I'm just looking, I'm like, girl, you don't use drugs. You buy paracetamol, you that I know, because I hardly do. So it was like, okay. And then I bought it, came home. Then the following morning, it was a Sunday, I woke up to bake, and I said, let me just do this test once and for all and cancel the thoughts that it could be pregnancy. Lo and behold, apart from my body changing, I'm naturally not a foodie. So I grew up in a home where we usually have something like light as breakfast, you know, something like bread and tea, bread and egg, and pap and sugar, pap and milk. Literally, that's what our breakfast. You will never find us eating solid food as breakfast, right? So I grew up in that kind of home. Lunch, we hardly ate lunch in my house growing up. Hardly ate lunch, because everybody is like in different places during the day. I'm in school, my mom was at her shop, my dad is at the office, so we were never at home together eating lunch. So nobody really ate lunch, but then we have dinner. So we always repeated that cycle. So I grew up to not really being a foodie like that. I'm one of those people that I eat to survive, not exactly eating to because I'm hungry or something, which means I can literally go a whole day without eating and I'm not gonna feel it sometimes, right? So when I realized that I was getting hungry constantly, if I don't eat breakfast early, my body systems just start misbehaving. I'm seeing double, I feel like fainting, I'm busy, all of that. I'm just like, when did all this one start? These were the signs that made me say, you know what, let's just and so when I did the test and it was positive, I told my husband, to my parents, then I told my friends. So I called my friends. I'm going to attach their video here. I called my friends. I just sent them a message, WhatsApp message, that hey, just randomly I sent WhatsApp email, hey, please, are you up for a video call? I want you to help me pick an outfit or something. I think that's what I said, I can't remember. So I just sent a message to a few of them. So you know, I just called them, and one was even for me that did not have light. She cannot put on camera. Can you imagine? Let me just allow you to watch the video. You don't have sense, that's your problem. So I'm going to show you once. Are you ready?
Yes.
Shut up, dear. I'm the baby. You are what?
Please, you should find cash for me to come to Ikeja. I'm going to be looking at you differently now. Best way, the best competition for the best auntie has started.
See my face now.
Competition for the best auntie has started. Type me, hear me.
Amen. You that you cannot show your face on video. How do you expect me to rate you?
Right. Where did you find that, Jerry?
That's like already a count, like you're already like on bottom level. But after you get an answer, yeah, you don't have like.
You know. You see.
Answer that living in the answer my question, no.
What was your question? I will not answer it because I cannot see your face.
Don't cry, yo. I don't understand what's doing you.
Because it's you. There is emotion. I'm going to be looking at that.
Don't look at me differently, oh, that's your problem.
To say my own now, you should start saving your money. Yo.
Save your coins, dears. You don't. You don't have sense. So there were some friends that I could not add to the call, so I sent a personal message to my queen's mother. In case you don't know, she screamed. I think she sent a voice note screaming. I was like, what's wrong with this woman? You know. Then I did another friend in church. When I saw her in church, I was like, oh my God, Moa, let me see. Let me attach Moa's video. Moa is so dramatic because funny thing about Moa is I had already started talking before I pressed the record button, so I could not really. Plus that day, I think I just wanted to go home and all of that. Anyway, that's that about finding out and telling people reactions and all of that. Now let's go to the things that I faced in my first trimester. Are you ready? Oh, before that, so almost immediately my husband started asking questions, asking other people that he knew, like his boss at work, hospital advice, all of that, antenatal advice and all of that. And so the following weekend, we went to the hospital to register at the antenatal clinic. And I remember the doctor saying, what's wrong with you people? Is this your first child? We said yes. He said, no wonder, because you are doing your antenatal so early. My husband was like, please sir, it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Let's just do it like that, you know. And then they scheduled me for every month. That's where it started eating us that we have bills to be paying. So because we registered as private patients, so there's always like a long ridiculous queue for HMOs. My husband is like, you know what, I got money, I got cash. Let's register private, darling, so that they can always answer you fast. I'm kidding, but you know, we registered private, and so every time we went for visits we had to pay some particular sum of money. Yeah, so we started going to the hospital. My husband has followed me so far to every single antenatal that I have gone. Even if I'm going for tests, he will follow me. By the way, nobody told us that these tests are not cheap. They will just tell you, go and do one right now, something tests. You will get there, you will take like a 2K test. You will give them doctor's report that, doctor said I should do this. They'll say, okay, your money is 10.5. From where to where? It's one test. And also because during the course of this pregnancy I have really high blood pressure, so they said it's because of my test and maybe my body mass and all of that. Something there's a science that they used to say. So at first, when it was my first trimester, the doctor said I was stressing too much, and I'm not gonna lie, I knew that I did a lot of stress my first trimester because I was preparing to get a store. Yes, I was preparing to get a store. There was a lot of going around looking at spaces, trying to get a space for my bakery and all of that. There was a lot of that, and I was getting a lot of orders, stressing myself at home, baking and all. So I knew that I was actually stressing. I was the only one then, I didn't have a staff, so I knew that I was actually stressed. So when the doctor told me that I'm stressing a lot, I believed him. So I at the moment, but now, at least now, I'm not really stressed, to be honest. I feel like I've been way relaxed. I get tired easily, of course, but I'm very relaxed because I have 2 staff and 1 student, so in a way 3 staff working at the bakery for me. I've not really been baking as such, right? I've been having a lot of time to rest, so I know that at least the high blood pressure now is not because of stress. That it's just bad when your feet get swollen. So my feet was swollen at some point. I think it's still swollen a little bit, to be honest. I think I had an easy first trimester. Of course I still had some symptoms, but compared to what I had heard, so compared to what people I prepared my mind for, compared to what I had seen other people go through, I still feel like I had an easy first trimester. I never did all those vomiting kind of thing. I was not spitting around, you know, I was not always nauseous. However, I was hungry. I had hunger pains, so I was always hungry. So I ate a lot, you know, and I cannot be in transit if I'm hungry. The 2 times that I tried being in transit while hungry, I threw up. So the doctor told me that I'm throwing up because I'm actually hungry. As long as I ate in time, I was fine. Oh, another thing that I experienced in my first trimester is I could not drink water. Jesus, guys, it just had a terrible taste. I could not stand it. I could not drink water. So I was always drinking Ribena. I would buy Ribena. Sometimes I would dilute it, sometimes I would not. You know, then the doctors would tell me, oh, you have to try to drink water. No matter what, you have to try to drink water. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. It's not like I don't want to. Like, I can't finish a sachet of water in a day. When I was in my first trimester, in one day, I can't finish a sachet of water. So I only drink water when I want to use my drugs. Sometimes if I have my Ribena, I'm going to use it with the Ribena. I don't care. Right. So, but I could not drink water. I never knew that that could be a thing. In sense of smell, I used to hear it, but I never knew that it was this bad. I never knew. My office started smelling to me like I could not stand. I had to wear face masks to the office. That's my corporate job on the island. I always had to wear face masks because the air freshener they use, the diffuser rather, and that is the same diffuser that I was used to. It's the same diffuser I was used to. The diffuser they used in the office started smelling extremely concentrated to me. Like it always feels like the fragrance they use is inside my nostrils. So the smell was just, oh my god. I had to tell my husband to please dispose a particular car air freshener also because I couldn't stand the smell. I didn't really have cravings, which is another thing that I wanted to mention. I didn't really have cravings. I was always eating right, but not like I was like, I feel like eating. I feel like all the time I say I'm craving ice cream, and I never had it though. I never did. I used to tell my husband that he's enjoying. I not wake him up in the middle of the night to go and look for cold shawarma or to go and look for suya in the afternoon. That he's enjoying. My own is just give me food to eat. He give me food to eat, don't make me hungry, I'm fine. You know. Yeah, so that was that for me. Another thing for me was I started forgetting things. I mean, normally I forget things, to be honest. I can put money in the pocket and I won't remember in a year. That's me. But this one was on another level. If I tell you, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. If I don't write it down or set an alarm that call so in 10 minutes, I promise you, I'm not gonna remember. I started forgetting things. So I had to intentionally start writing things down. If I don't, I won't remember. Sometimes I'll tell myself I'll remember. I don't remember anything. I always had to write my to-do. You know, I took that more seriously in my first trimester. I still do that now. Yeah, I still forget things, so I still do that. So I'm sorry if I promised to call you one time and I did not call you. Trust me, I've forgotten. I'm sorry if I read your message and I did not reply. This is why. Another thing I experienced was shortness of breath. So I was always tired. I was always finding it difficult to breathe. I mentioned that in the last video that I made with my husband. Skincare, well, I'm not really a skincare person anyway, but I had to be intentional about the things I was not using on my body because first, I have a sensitive body. I'm not pregnant on top. I started reading things that a pregnant person shouldn't use. That was where I even learned. You guys will not believe what I'm about to say. You will not believe what I'm about to say. You will not believe it. That was where I learned that there are 2 types of sunscreen. There's the chemical and there's the chemical and natural chemical. I can't remember. The chemical sunscreen and the other type. That was the first time I learned. I never knew. I used to use Misha Aqua before I got pregnant. So what I learned was that was a chemical sunscreen. So I had to stop that. I had to just go for another sunscreen that was recommended to me. So I got that. I had to change face wash, body wash, everything. So I just really had to minimize what I was putting on my body. It's not like I was using skincare before, but I was now intentional about what I bought. I had to always check the ingredients. Does it contain this? Does it contain that? You know, and yeah, so that's my first trimester recap. I hope that I did not bore you with all the story. I'm giving you tips for your future. If you're single, it's the tips that you can use when you get married. I'm giving you tips. Nothing is a waste. Nothing is a waste. And if you're married but you're not ready, I'm giving you tips in advance. Do you understand? Prepare your mind. I think one thing I would say is, and I think I mentioned it slightly in my last video, is before you get pregnant, in fact, before you do anything in life, it's always best to pray ahead, prepare for it. So one thing that I know is, in the period where my husband and I were waiting in the sense that we knew that we didn't want a child then, right? So in that period, even though we knew that we didn't want a child, I was still always praying towards my pregnancy. I remember vividly, I would always pray towards my pregnancy that, Lord Jesus, you know that I have a lot to do. I can't allow one pregnancy to come and hold me down. You know, please just make it easy for me. And I was really consistent in those kind of prayers. So one thing I would also want you to do is, you can trust God, you can put your faith in God and pray for ease. I also believe that there is something about, even if your pregnancy is not easy in quotes, God can give you the strength to see through it. Do you understand? So it's not just even praying for ease alone, it's also praying for the strength. God can give you the strength. I remember my mom telling me that it's not that my pregnancy is easy per se, it's just that I have the strength to carry it. I'm just strong. And sometimes I'm like, I tell myself that I don't think it's that I'm strong, I think it's easy. And my mom listing a lot of things that doctors tell me. Do you know that's this? Do you know that this? Do you think that's easy? Do you think it's easy for them to be tricking your body every time? Do you think it is that easy? You just have the strength. And I'm like, okay, maybe. So there is also even if it is not easy, let me have a strength. Let me be strong enough to pull through it, right? So you want to pray about your future. You don't have to wait till you're pregnant to pray about it, right? Even if you're still single, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. It's not only praying for a man that you should be praying for. Pray for your future children. Pray for your future pregnancies. Yeah. So that is that about pregnancy story, first trimester. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like. If you haven't subscribed until now, please click the subscribe button. Share with your friends, whether they're single, they are married, expecting. Share. Bye.